Hey, what's up guys? Hope you all are having a great day today. Now before we go ahead and hop into this commentary, just gotta thank the man himself, Thunder, for hooking me up with another spot on this channel. It really does mean a lot to me, and it means a lot to a lot of other content creators out there as well, who are featured on TSG. But if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and check Thunder's main channel out, 402 Thunder 402. He posts all of his content over on there. Now today, I kind of just want to talk about the pacing of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and what a lot of people are complaining about and dealing with this title. It for sure plays nothing like any Call of Duty game I have ever played, at all. Now in the beta I was kind of getting hints of other Modern Warfare titles sprinkled here and there, some Ghost as well. But now with the final release being here, and I actually own this game, and I'm putting in tons of hours and tons of time to grinding throughout the levels and experiencing what this game actually has, it has changed. My opinion on it actually has changed a lot since I first played it in the beta. And when I played it in the beta, I was actually one of the many few who actually really enjoyed it. I thought this game was fantastic, actually. And don't get me wrong, it's still a really good game to this day. It wasn't just good in the beta and that's it. The graphics are great, the looks and the sounds of all the weapons and the customization and the camos that you can grind for and the amount of levels and challenges. There is a lot of good things that are scattered around in this game. But what weighs it down is the horrible decisions that the devs made towards putting in specific things in this game. Things like loud footsteps and dead silence not being a perk and having it be a field order so you can only use it a certain amount of times, and how Ghost is only activated. Well, it's activated all the time. You don't have to run in order for Ghost to work. Once you have the perk Ghost equipped onto any class that you have, you will not show up on the minimap no matter what, unless they get a advanced UAV. And matched up with the massive scaled maps and the extremely fast time to kill, it just kind of really encourages a camp fest. And I thought it was really funny because a lot of people compared this game to Battlefield, and honestly there are a lot of things in this game that do resemble some Battlefield, a little bit of Rainbow Six, certain things here and there. But what I find extremely funny is that Battlefield is more fast-paced than Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Shoot, even Rainbow Six Siege is more fast-paced than Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Rainbow Six Siege is probably one of the most tactical games out there in the FPS marketplace. This is hands down probably the slowest Call of Duty game I have ever played. Actually, mark my words here, not the slowest Call of Duty game, but the slowest FPS game that I have ever played. And I'm not talking about simulators like Squad or anything like that, which is supposed to be realistic, but I'm just talking about your basic FPS game that you'll pick up at the store just to plop into your console or your PC to have a good, quick time. 10, 20, 30-minute match, and then head off on your way to do whatever else you need to do. Now, I'm actually going to throw up some Battlefield 5 gameplay here. Stick with me, guys. It's not going to be too long. I'll just put one clip in, and then I'll resume with the rest of the Modern Warfare gameplay. But I just want to show you guys a little Battlefield, from my perspective at least, and how smooth, fast, and good the gameplay actually is. Now, in Modern Warfare, my issue that I run into is that nobody wants to move, and there's no incentive to move. Especially with how the maps are laid out. There's so many different options and so many places that you have to look that a lot of players don't want to take the challenge to push out and, go against their odds. So what they'll usually do is just camp the window and wait till someone else comes out and they get shot instead. Modern Warfare is just a massive waiting game. That's all it is. It's whoever has the most patience and whoever can wait the longest will win the gunfights. And I just thought it was hilarious because, a lot of people were comparing it to the beta, and they were saying that it was more like Battlefield. And it is, like I said, it's true, but Battlefield 5 plays so much smoother and so much faster that it just blows my mind. That the devs over at Infinity Ward, even though they wanted to copy Battlefield, you could see that some of the things they wanted to take from Battlefield, but they did it so much worse. How could you possibly you copied homework? That's practically what you did. You copied Battlefield, but you did it in the worst possible way. There's so much good that Battlefield has to offer, so much flow in their map designs, that could have actually worked if you wanted Call of Duty to take that direction and you still wanted it to be fast-paced. But it doesn't seem that way. It seems like they literally wanted to make their own specific game. And at that point, it seems like Infinity Ward didn't have any plans on making this game like Battlefield or making this game like Rainbow Six Siege. It seems like they just wanted to make this game Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Its own unique title with its own unique playstyle. Now, I can't blame them. It's cool that they went off and did this. But don't forget, this is Call of Duty. When I hop on Call of Duty, just like any other video game, I don't expect to have to sweat so hard and play for so long. When I play a Battlefield game, I expect a 20-minute long match. That's what I go into expecting to get out of that game. But when I come to Call of Duty, I expect like 5 to 10-minute matches, and if the 10-minute match does last 10 minutes, I expect it to be a long but good one, and I'll find plenty of kills. But in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it is the absolute opposite. You get into these lobbies that usually last out the full time. So let's just say 10 minutes is the max. And you get into these 10-minute lobbies, they run the full time, and you'll see the top player with 10 kills. And we're talking about some domination here as well. If you hop into a domination match and you play the whole time, maybe you'll see 15, maybe 20 if they're lucky enough. By default, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is just an extremely slow game. Borderline broken with how slow it actually is. It makes me wonder who actually play tested this, and I would love to meet them as well to see what their tastes in video games are actually like. Now, I'm not against the larger scaled maps. I'm a big fan of large scaled maps, actually. I was actually one of the people who was asking for the new variety of maps to come back into the game and not just the 3-lane cheese. You saw plenty of large-scale maps in World at War and Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 1. You saw tons of large-scaled maps, but they did them correctly, and along with how they crafted the games and they worked the weapons and the time to kill and the perks and everything along with that, the maps had a good flow. But I don't know what went wrong with the creation of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. They said that they brought back the devs who actually made the maps for Modern Warfare 2. But what happened? How do you go from making maps from Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and then we come to the maps that we're seeing in Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Now, yes, the maps in Call of Duty Modern Warfare are very unique. Don't get me wrong. There's probably not many maps out there like these in any other video game. But is it good? That's the real question. Are they good? I can go out right now and go create a video game. I can go make a video game and say, well, I did something that nobody else ever did. I made a specific playstyle that no other game could copy. But if the playstyle in the game isn't good, nobody is going to enjoy it. And that's the same situation that Infinity Ward is coming up with this game. They wanted to experiment. They wanted to make something different. So they went off, they made these gigantic maps with insanely awkward flows to them, and they try to bring it off to us as something new and unique, but in reality, they're just not good. Now, there is a select few of maps, I would say maybe 2 to 3 maps, that I can play. They're not my favorite maps out of the whole COD franchise, but if I have to have a favorite map, which none of them really are my favorite, but if I have to, there are about 2 to 3 maps that I would probably enjoy over the others. But at the end of the day, all of them just need some reworking. At this point, I wouldn't even mind if they just backtracked with the game, took it back, released Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, and just reworked the core mechanics of this game and got the flow back to where it is. But it makes me curious, is the pacing of this game because of the community? Is it because of the players who are playing this game? Maybe because a lot of people who didn't get the beta wanted to try out the campaign and then they're hopping over to multiplayer and they haven't played in a while? Or maybe they're just not used to the new type of play style. Call of Duty is a massive release every single year. And as you guys know, like I said in the beginning of the video, this game is nothing like any other Call of Duty game. ever. So, you know, a lot of people are going to have to slowly adjust to the new playstyle. But as much as I like to blame the player base for ruining things with the game, I am kind of leaning more towards the fact that I think the devs are the ones who ruined this title. For example, Battlefield and Rainbow Six Siege. Yes, they are slower paced games. They have larger scaled maps and higher player counts. But the devs had that in mind, and they made sure that they crafted the game correctly around the factor knowing that the maps are large, and knowing that it's going to be 64 players playing on these maps. So they made it so the maps had a good flow, that people could still continuously come into the map, you know, have certain flank routes, and not get completely clustered by a bunch of enemies in certain situations, or just not even know where you will get shot from. The devs at Infinity Ward really confused me with this title because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, who in their absolute right mind in the studio thought that it was a good idea to make Ghost a perk where you don't have to move anymore for it to be active? Who thought of that? That's mind-boggling. That's something that I would never even think would be put into the game. You know, Ghost was always that crutch perk that allowed aggressive players to stay aggressive. So if the enemy team did call in a UAV, if you were an aggressive player, you could stay off the UAV, and for those who just wanted to camp, they would hold down their positions, and enemies would obviously know where they were because the red dots would show up, but they knew this, they were wary of this, and they would still just hold down that location and try to defend it. But it doesn't absolutely, you know, reject the aggressive players. But Modern Warfare is just like, it's out of this world. It does not allow you to be aggressive. It doesn't want you to have fun. It doesn't want you to push. And changing the minimap as well is a very strange thing, because at first, like I said, I liked it. I do enjoy not showing up on the minimap. But with the map design of this game and the flow and how people like to just not move at all, it needs to change now. You can't have the minimap like this if your game has no flow. Now, if the game had flow, if you were able to flank people and have different routes and not deal with all the stuff that you had to deal with in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, then I agree that the minimap looks absolutely outstanding with not being able to show up on the minimap when you shoot an unsilenced weapon. But with how this game plays, you need to have the red dot show up. But ladies and gentlemen, this is probably going to be a rough year for a lot of Call of Duty fans, and I can already foresee the future that a lot of people are going to be revisiting Black Ops 4, including me. It's crazy to think that a lot of us thought Black Ops 4 was the worst Call of Duty game, and that none of us would like it, and then this game drops. It's like, how could the timing be any worse for this whole situation? But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on it. If you hate it, you can always dislike it. And don't forget to check out Thunder, because I really do appreciate him uploading me on this channel. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out his main channel, 402 Thunder 402. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.